So with that, I'd like to introduce to you on stage the man responsible for pulling all of this together, CEO and founder of WatchMojo, Ashkan Karbasfrooshan.
Thank you, Kate. Such needless ageism. We do have a lot of male millennials, but to be honest with you, WatchMojo is one of the few channels that I think a parent and a child can find content that they enjoy. So first off, thank you, Kate. Thank you to everyone who's in the attendance. Thank you to YouTube for giving us the access to the space. And thank you to the folks who worked so hard to put this production together. Having come from the New York event on May 31st, I saw firsthand just how hard it is to pull something like this off, so thanks again. So, WatchMojo, as some of you know or don't know, actually is a 12-year-old startup. We launched back in 2005, and with a simple mission and vision to inform and entertain with a video on every topic. Most of you maybe don't know this, but YouTube.com and WatchMojo.com were registered more or less around the same time in May and June of 2005. Of course, within 18 months, YouTube had become the second biggest search engine in the world and the largest video sharing platform in the world. And recognizing that threat and that opportunity, the folks over at Google acquired YouTube in October of 2006 for $1.6 billion, which a lot of people thought was crazy, but today it goes down as a bargain. So while the YouTube co-founders were busy selecting which island they wanted to buy, we were up in Montreal in the trenches trying to figure out this thing called web video. And trust me, from 2006 till about 2012, we tried it all. We did how-to videos, we did fashion tips, we did travel destinations, we did celebrity interviews, we did biographies of famous people, we did profiles of famous groups and organizations, and of course we did a lot of top 10 lists. And we, again, distribution and business model-wise, we also tried it all. We put the videos on our owned and operated website and prayed and nothing happened. And we put the videos on Yahoo and MSN and AOL and Gooba, Rever, Dailymotion, and MetaCafe, and nothing happened. But at that time, we could see that there was one platform that was different. There was one platform that was boundaryless. There was one platform that was growing like crazy. And of course, that platform was YouTube. So in 2012, however, 6 years into it, $1 million of debt. My wife, Christine, and I, a partner who started the company, and the other 5 or 6 people who were stupid, wise, or a bit of both to join in our adventure, we kind of said, look, let's be honest, we've had degrees of success doing what we're doing, but this is never going to be a real business. This is just an expensive hobby where we're just kind of burning money and seeing how quickly we could kind of burn the money. But in 2012, as any honest entrepreneur and executive would do, I took a look in the mirror and I said, look, if we're going to be successful, we have to stand for something. If we're packaging WatchMojo as a consumer brand, WatchMojo has to mean something to people. And this is a hard business. So what is the kind of content that we'd be willing to do if our lives depended on it? What's the kind of content we do if we would do it for free? And there's an expression that you don't go to war with the army you want, you go to war with the army that you have. And we realized that we were debating what's better, this sports team or that sports team? What's better, this food or that team, this show or that show? And we kind of just looked around and said, what we really ought to do is just come up with top 10 lists on pop culture and infotainment, and feature clips and, just curate the best of pop culture and infotainment. We were based in Montreal, Canada, but we just, we were fans of American pop culture, granted. So that's what we focused on. That was 2005. We had 10,000 subscribers. I think we were generating like $80 on YouTube. And we're not in it for the money. We said we're going to do this because this is what we're going to survive and be the best at. And then from 2013, sometime after the vloggers, the do-it-yourselfers, the let's play gamers, but before the unboxers, we caught the list. Lightning in a bottle, and the rest, as they say, is history. We went from 10,000 subs in 2012 to 100,000 a year later, to 1 million, 5 million, and now the core channel is close to 15 million, and overall we have over 17 million. So it's been a hell of a ride. Now, In the past 5 years, those videos, as you saw in that propaganda reel, have generated 8 billion views all time, close to 50 billion minutes of watch time. And later on, one of our speakers is going to talk about the importance of watch time. That's 100,000 years of content consumption. It's insane. I can't even start to wrap my small brain around what that means. When we launched the company based in Montreal, you may or may not know this, but we wanted to build the next media and entertainment export out of our city after some brands you may not know are from Montreal, like Cirque du Soleil, Just for Laughs, and of course Vice Media. Now, if you are an Iranian-born Canadian entrepreneur in a post-9/11 world, to do that, you're going to need a lot of luck. You're going to need a lot of timing. But you're also going to need to recognize the right partner and the right platform. And I'm not saying working with YouTube is always easy, but YouTube was that platform. So today, YouTube generates 1 billion hours of content consumption each day, and it's replacing TV as the main platform that audiences turn to for entertainment and information. And I like to think that WatchMojo is this generation's edition of ESPN, or MTV, or even if I dare say so, BBC. We are the 10th largest channel of all time when measured by subscribers and all-time views. Of the 9 channels that are bigger than us, 6 of them are Vivo. Cool, I can live with that. Of the remaining 3, you got ABC's Ellen, you got the World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, and of course PewDiePie. And I trust me, that day when PewDiePie roasted us, I felt like I could retire. Music to my ears. Okay, so if you have this much success mashing up media, ranking lists, why the hell would you put up with all this production? Like if you had hair, you would lose it. It's so much goes into these real productions. Well, here's why. At a time when you have elected politicians who are going out and calling for walls to be erected, and politicians that are tearing people apart, and madmen that do things to bring people apart, I couldn't help but notice that, you know what? That is the anomaly. That is the exception. That is a blip in history. If you take, we're not a political channel. You know, we don't cover politics per se. But if you look around what's happening in the world, YouTube is the new normal. YouTube is this boundaryless platform where a creator from Montreal can create content for someone from Manila, Madrid, Mumbai, or Manchester. And that's really powerful. And when we sat around the beginning of the year saying, okay, we kind of nailed this top 10 listicle format, but what do we want to do more of? And we're going to touch on it. We want to do some scripted programming. We want to do some branded content that audiences actually like. We want to do game shows. We also want to do live programming. Live programming initially means, yeah, this kind of stuff. A little bit of an industry panel showcasing some, after I speak, some brilliant, inspiring people, but also musical performances. But in the future, it could be live programming from E3, it could be festivals and whatnot. The 2 key themes of WatchMojo Live are creativity and diversity, and frankly, which cities are better than that, than New York City and London? So, on that note, I would like to introduce our first inspirational speaker. He is the former